Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Crypt Rick's I've Been Thinking. And you know me, one thing I'm always thinking about, if you've been paying attention, is music. That is definitely something that is a big part of my life and something I definitely use to decompress throughout the day when I'm doing a lot of research and looking into stuff. It starts to build up on me, and I think it does on a lot of people. And I just enjoy music, and so music has been something that has been a huge part of my whole life, for pretty much my whole life. I have always seemed to go and retreat into music when I'm having stress, or if I need to, like I said, decompress, or if I'm even if I'm having a great time. There always seems to be music going on in the background when I'm doing stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. So I thought I'd make a cool. I want to try to do some little. I'm definitely known for my longer interviews, which I totally love doing, and I'm gonna keep doing them because I love doing them so much. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to add like another little section to my channel where I talk about music and a lot of the bands that I influenced my taste in music as I was getting older, and what bands I was listening to when I was younger, and just a lot of the music that I'm listening to now, and throughout the years, the music that has basically stuck with me. And so I thought that'd be cool. Maybe do just maybe 10 or 15 minute quick little video, and just tell people about, like I said, the music that has shaped my life, and the style of music and everything that I like. I can say that when I was in my teens and a lot younger, it was definitely heavy metal. That was the only thing I would listen to. I mean, I wouldn't even give most music a chance. Like, if it wasn't heavy metal, I wouldn't listen to it. I can say with time and with getting older that I'm definitely open to listening to a lot of different styles of music now, and a lot of, to me now it's just good music is good music, and if I like the song, I like it. And that's just, I'm really happy that did happen, because there's a lot of great stuff out there that is not classified as heavy metal, and I enjoy listening to it. And but I definitely, in the veins of me, it's definitely hard rock and that genre, and heavy metal and stuff like that, for sure. And I mean, by looking at me, I'm sure you guys can tell that it's not hard to figure out at all. So, but I do enjoy other music. I am starting to appreciate other music and from other bands and that. And I'm always looking for new music to check out, like newer bands and stuff like that. Now, admittedly, I have not found a lot of the newer stuff out there. I don't really like it. It's just, I don't know. I'm looking, guys. I am. And if you guys, know of any good, cool rock or heavy metal bands that are relatively new or new, please leave it in the comment, and tell me the name of the band and the song to check out, and I will definitely do that, because I am always looking for new music to appreciate and to listen to. And I'm just having a hard time finding a lot of new stuff from the newer bands, and I know it's out there. I'm just, maybe I'm not looking in the right places, or who knows, but maybe you guys can help me out. Definitely recommend some stuff down in the comment section, and I promise I will check it out, and then I'll do a video if you guys leave me enough suggestions, and I'll actually comment on the suggestions that you guys left, and I'll give you my thoughts on the music. I think that'd be really cool and make a fun video, and I can learn about some new bands and that, so that's pretty cool. But for this video, I wanted to talk about an album that I listened to when very young, and it totally blew my mind when I actually heard this album. And I do remember, like, it blew my mind when I was very young when I first heard this album. And I grew up with my family listening to like Elvis, and like my dad was listening to country and stuff like that. And so I didn't really hear a lot of rock. I would hear some on the radio, of course, which I enjoyed listening to, but back then there wasn't a lot of hard rock on the radio. Believe it or not, like, there was some, and a lot of the popular bands back in, years ago, they were on there, but it wasn't as easy to find as it is now. Trust me when I say that. It's so easy now to find whatever you want. You just go on YouTube, there's so many different music apps that you can go find, and you can basically find any band song that you want. So, but back, when I was younger, there was just radio, and it was, there wasn't a lot of hard rock, as I said, playing. So I remember I went over to my mother's friend's house, and they had a stereo, and they had an 8-track. Believe it or not, yes, 8-track. I don't even know if some people know what an 8-track is. Sure, the people watching this probably do, because, you know, if you're a music fan, you've probably been one your whole life, but maybe not. And an 8-track was a great big cassette, basically. Trust me, they were. And so I remember popping this in, because they had a lot of the normal, like, soft music, but they had. And the first thing that attracted me to this album was obviously the album cover. Now you're asking me, Crypt Rick, what album are you talking about? Well, of course, everybody knows this album. Everybody knows it. And let me just try to. It's hard to hear. I am talking about Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. This album, trust me, when you're young and you see this album cover, it is the coolest thing you've ever seen. And I was like, I have to listen to this. And I remember popping that 8-track into the stereo, and it blew my mind. When I was younger, I must have listened to this album over and over and over and over again, because I just never heard anything like this. And back in the day, a lot of people don't realize that this album did not do really good at first. Like, a lot of people just did not get Meatloaf. They did, you know. And before I go on, I want to dedicate this to Meatloaf, because he recently passed, and, you know, it's awful that I mean, another great music voice and somebody with an amazing career, you know, is gone. And it seems that that's going on, you know, more and more these days. We're losing a lot of great artists, a lot of great, you know, singers, musicians, and it really sucks that he passed. But so I wanted to do this episode, you know, and dedicate it to Meatloaf. And I'm serious. This album was huge when I was very young. Like, when I heard this, and I couldn't believe how long the songs were. Like, these songs, most of them on here are like 6-7 minutes long. And back in the day, songs weren't written that long. And if they were, you know, there was some. And if they were, they sure weren't being played on the radio very often, because, you know, that's a lot of time for one song. And as I was saying, back in the day, when this album came out, people didn't understand it. A lot of the critics did not like it. A lot of the people didn't like it. And it's only over the last, you know, over the years that this album has really aged and found its place. And now this is like one of the best-selling albums of all time. Check it out. It really is. This thing is right up there. Like, it has sold so many copies. It's incredible. And everybody knows this album now, you know, and as I was saying. So, but like I said, it wasn't well received at first. And for me, I loved it. This album, like I was saying, I listened to it like over and over, as I was saying. It was crazy. And it definitely was one of the first albums that really, I don't consider it heavy metal. That's the thing. Like, I'm a metal fan, and I definitely will tell the story about how my brother brought home some albums. And I kind of talk about it in my interview with Dr. Fuck. Like, that's when I really got introduced to heavy metal, if you want to call it that. But this was my biggest, I think, introduction into rock, is what I call it, and the big epic songs and like that. And I still listen to this album to this day. Actually, I was listening to it today while I was doing some cleaning up around the house and that. I just always seem to go back to this and play it every once in a while, and I just love it. So I thought I'd just do a little video here and show you guys and tell you guys about, you know, Meatloaf, and how I loved this album, and I love his other albums too. A lot of people just know him for this one, and maybe Bat Out of Hell too. And then they kind of, you know, and then he's done so much other music and great albums. I like all of his albums. I definitely like them all. And so check him out. Like, I mean, I think a lot of people think he just did this one and maybe Bat Out of Hell too, but he's got a lot of music out there. And what an incredible man. Like, I mean, an amazing singer, but always wanted to be considered an actor. Like, that's how he looked at himself as. And I mean, just do a Google search on the movies that Meatloaf was in. Like, it's enormous how many things that he was in and on film and that. So, and that's amazing. And I also liked Meatloaf a lot when I heard him in interviews, because he never wanted to be called a star or a rock star or anything like that. He just considered himself a normal guy, that his job was acting and singing. So, very humble man. And I thought that was an amazing thing, because you don't usually see that with people that are, you know, famous people. Like, I mean, so it's pretty cool that he always thought that. And There's a documentary out on him and a movie and stuff, so that's worth checking out if you haven't, because it really kind of shows you what he went through in his life and the demons that he dealt with and stuff like that. So it's really cool if you start looking into this man and how much he's done for everyone, how many, like, all the great movie roles he's been in. You know, you'll know him in Fight Club. Like, everybody knows him from that one. And then, you know, just Google it and start checking. Rocky Horror Picture Show. I mean, come on, like, what can I say? I mean, amazing career. And then he's also responsible for the Bat Out of Hell album. So, pretty good to me, man. Pretty cool guy. Pretty cool music. So definitely, I was going to say, like, tell people to check this out and listen to it. But if you haven't heard this, then you are definitely living under a rock if you haven't heard a song off this album. For sure. So, but just my little tribute to him. And he will be missed. Sad that he's gone. But I'll still listen and love his music. I play it all the time, as I said. And so that's just that. And I'm going to probably try to do one of these album reviews and kind of like band reviews and a story behind it on how it influenced me. Probably try to do one a week or something like that. And I love to get your guys' input in the comments. As I always say, I like to hear what you guys think about the album that I'm talking about. What you thought of Meatloaf. What you thought of his acting. I would just love to hear that, guys. So please leave it in the comments section, because I definitely am always curious to see what music you guys are listening to and what you guys think of this album. So, because I do know some people love this album to death like I do, and there's a lot of people that I even know that do not like this album. Even now they don't. Like, they just don't like it. Songs are too long. So, hey, everybody's got an opinion, so I definitely like to hear yours. And just like to thank you guys for all taking the time to check this out. It's a little bit smaller than my other videos, I hope. And please check out my other videos, and if you're enjoying them, like, share, subscribe, as I'm always trying. Everybody's telling me to say that, so there you go. I always try to kind of forget saying that, so please, if you do, like, share, subscribe. And if you want to check me out on my radio show, I'm on twice a week at Revolution Radio, which is at freedomslips.com, and I'm on twice a week there. So I go on Saturday nights from 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. in Studio B, and that's Eastern Standard Time. And that's just a fun show I do, where I also talk about music and movies and stuff like that. So that's my fun show that I like to do for an hour. And then I got my second show, which is on Monday nights, which is on Studio A. And that is from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is the show where I do more serious stuff. I bring a guest on to interview and stuff like that. So definitely check it out. Great station. You guys will find out that there's so many hosts on there that are doing amazing things, talking about amazing topics, and so definitely check it out. And it's pretty much 24/7 that this is going, and there's always some great information being talked about on there. So, as I said, Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. Check it out, guys. Take care. Have yourselves a great day, great evening, whatever, wherever it is. Time zones, like I say, mess me up. So just take care, stay safe, and I'll be back with another great interview and another music review, I guess you want to call it. So this is what we're talking about. Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. And if you haven't heard it, definitely check it out. But I'm sure you have. So take care, guys. Peace.
Are you interested in the paranormal? Murder mysteries, cryptocurrency, and thought-provoking interviews? Then check out Crypt Rick's I've Been Thinking on YouTube, or every Monday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Studio A at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. Welcome to the Crypt.